Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Jake, StarCoding, coming at you with another video where we're talking about computer science. Today I'm just going to give a quick reflection on how it's been using Perl for a year. I've been debating just making a video about this, just stating an opinion, because I just know that it could ruffle some feathers online, and we'll see how it goes. But I think I just want to say it, I want to talk about it, and what I want to talk about is how I've been using Perl for about a year, and I do not like the language. I would not recommend the language for shipping things to production. Stated. Wow, there we go. And Jake, why are you making this video? Well, probably because if you're just like a curious programmer like I was a year ago, you might be thinking about like making something cool, and you might want to, you know, expand your language scope, learn something new, a new paradigm of programming, because there's so much JavaScript and Python and C# in the world. You just want to be different. You want to do something cool. You want to carve your own path, like I thought I was doing. But once you go down the Perl rabbit hole and you get past the whole, oh, I'm using this language that almost no one else uses, you're left there sitting with yourself and you're like, huh, like, is this going to work out okay? That's the state I find myself in sometimes when I'm running in Perl. I just want to like elaborate on that and where I'm coming from with this. So again, this is just an opinion, and by no means am I an expert. I've been using Perl for a year, and you can see me. I've been programming for probably like 5-6 years professionally, so nothing too crazy. I'm just a guy. I'm a user of Perl. I'm just giving, you know, some thoughts on it as a user of Perl. And I do program mainly on Windows and not Linux, so let me state that as well for all the Linux guys out there that are using, you know, apt-get Perl and just writing scripts and having so much fun with it. So let me just start by like saying like why Perl is maybe interesting in general. I think we talked about it in 2024. It's awesome for, you know, like processing files and doing file input output stuff. And if you just need to write a quick script to do some internal tooling, it's great. It's awesome. But as soon as you want to do something complicated, a little bit, you know, like let's test the boundaries of what I can do with my logic when I'm talking about, like, you know, networks, distributed computing, and inter-process communication. And again, maybe that's not why Perl exists, but I'm just saying, as soon as you get into these inter-process communications and distributed computing things, it can be a little scary. It can be a little scary. Perl's glue. At the end of the day, it's glue. It's a scripting language, and so doing these little minute things might not be what it's mainly for, but when you're building a system, it might be what you end up doing. So why are people using Perl? I would assume that someone would go out of their way to make a script in Perl because they want to make a tool that's cross-platform, maybe. They're like, hey, like I could do this script in SH, in PowerShell, but I want my Windows friends or I want my Unix friends to be able to do the same Perl script too. And so writing it in a language that is not compilable but can run on multiple machines is cool. All right, I think it's valid to say that when I'm writing a Perl script, I want it to be cross-platform to an extent, and that is almost like it's almost a downfall sometimes because of how this how the inter-process communication works. When you want to make another process in Perl, you just use the word fork, like how you would on a Linux system, and you can fork a process, do some things, wait for the process to terminate, get its output, and call it a day. And when you do this on Windows, it does it via threads, so it's not going to create a new process necessarily. It's going to create a new thread that does something. And when it comes to just like cross-compatibility differences, like there's times where you do not want it, you want it to act the same. I'm making a script on Linux, and I want it to do something on Windows, and there is a fundamental difference on how the inner processes take place. And I mean, that in itself was just like it was a rabbit hole that I was not expecting to go down. It took a lot of time, and you could say it's probably a skill issue. It definitely is a skill issue, okay? It's a skill issue, but it's a skill issue that I wouldn't have to run into if I was using a language like Go or Python or something else that I would have the expected consistency between cross-process communication. And another thing that I haven't run into it yet, but it's just a constant thing in my mind as I'm using Perl, is like, yeah, it's a language that's not many people use, and it's cool. It's cool to be that rebel that's using it, like, oh, I'm doing these cool things in Perl. But if you ever get into a point where you want to do something cool, you're probably going to install third-party modules with CPAM. And every time Perl comes out with a new update, updating my version to, 5.40, 5.46, there's a little, and it's supposed to not break. It's, it's supposed to be a minor update, it's supposed to just, like, patch and everything's good. If, for some reason, one of these minor patch updates, like, breaks a CPAN dependency, I'm fearing for my life. I'm fearing for my life every time I see, oh, CVE 2025, you should probably patch the latest Perl. I'm like, alright, I'll do it, but I hope my CPAN versions all update and it's all good. It's just like, I know there was just a Perl conference that took place like a month ago, and I'm looking at some of the updates of that, and there's let's see here. This is like just the Perl website. You got updates coming in and all that jazz. Someone just donated 10,000 pounds. Great stuff. Still getting updates to the language and all that jazz, but not enough. Not enough for me to feel safe. Every time there's a patch update, I'm like, is this the end? And again, like, maybe I'm just, maybe don't, when you're doing internal tools, that's not too scary. I feel like you're not going to be using too many CPAM stuff for internal tools, but if you're going to make a product and have it running on a potential customer machine, if I'm using a CPAM third-party module for some strange reason, I want to be using a language that people are updating daily, and I can contact the maintainers, and like, we're all maintaining. There's like other companies that are using this, that are expecting this to be updated if it ever breaks. Yeah, again, just a small rant, just opinions. After using it for a year, it's cool for internal tools. Probably still will use it for internal tools, but as soon as you want to make a product out of it, 'cause that's what we were trying to do, just make a product that would work on some external machines. Then you gotta, like, package it, which packaging it into a binary is its own separate issue. But no, just a quick rant. See if this ruffles some feathers online. Leave a comment below. Enlighten me, please. Tell me that I'm wrong. All right, that's what I need. I need to be shown the light of what Perl could be. But in the meantime, like, if I could go back, I'd be like, yeah, let's just use Go. Let's just use something else for this. So, yeah. Peace, guys.